Good evening, everybody out there in Chester County and on my Facebook page, coming to you straight live from City Town Talk is none other than me, Brother Fonz. And I am so excited this evening because we have a special guest, and I'm going to tell you all about her. But first, we still got some things we got to do. So for all of you who are tuning in, you know the drill. I want y'all to share this video, send this thing on back to me so we can find out if anybody's tuning in and get any kind of comments or questions or shout outs or stuff like that. Carolyn, most of my viewers know how I do what I do. So, and it's always something real special. So y'all tune in. I need y'all to tune in. We're just a little late today, but not by much. So I'm going to get with this in a little while. But first, I want to introduce it and kind of like give you a backup story about this young lady that we had. But another thing that we got to talk about before we get on, we got to remember the turkey donation giveaway we're doing for Thanksgiving. On November the 19th, we want 200 turkeys to feed 200 families. Now, this is being spearheaded by Women Destined for Change, and they are partnering with my nonprofit, MCDC, which is the Movement Community Development Corporation. Boy, that's a lot of words, and I love it. But we're going to get them 200 turkeys. Hey, wink, wink. We're going to ask this young lady here for some turkeys too. Gobble, gobble. But that's besides the point. I want y'all to stay tuned for that because that's very important. November the 19th. Also, don't forget, tomorrow, food distribution at CYWA. It starts at, let me see if I got it right, 12:30. If you get there at 12:30, there will be some food distributed to you. Food coming from all over the place. Wegmans, a Giant, Acme, all. Matter of fact, I think I might get in line. And they're going to have it on Thursday as well at 1:30. Come out to CYWA at 1:30. Now, I figure I do a lot of talking, Carolyn, to see if I can get anybody to tune in just yet. It takes a little while. I have some of my usual people out there, Iris Holmes and all those. I don't see them yet, but we will, as we go talking, it'll pop up. Any kind of question. So look, ladies and gentlemen, this evening, I have a young lady whose name is Carolyn Comitta. Sometimes I don't know whether to put two M's or two T's, but I'm finally getting it together. And what's happening is Carolyn Comitta is the state representative of District 156. Is that how you call it? District 156. And she's also running for Senator Andrew Dinniman's position because he's retiring and everything like that. We're going to talk about that. So y'all know how we love State Senator Andrew Dinniman, but she's going to be the new female Dinniman. No, female Comitta. But look, I'm going to give y'all a backstory of who this young lady is. So I want y'all to listen real tight. Don't forget, all my viewers, tag this video and stop playing so people can see what's going on. I don't have anybody yet. Unbelievable. It's never taken this long. Okay. First, Carolyn T. Comitta is the representative for the 156th Legislative District. Formerly, she is the mayor of Westchester. She ran for her legislative office in 2016, where she won by only 25 votes. And we're going to talk about that later on in the show, about how every vote counts. We're going to talk about it. Okay. Carolyn's professional background is in education. She received a Bachelor's of Science in Education from Westchester State College and then a Master's from Widener University. She was an educator in the Octorara School District for over 10 years. She continues to serve as a mentor to students and since 1992 has organized the attendance of over 3,000 local students at the annual Health and Environment Conference in the United Nations. Oh my goodness. Carolyn sits on the board of directors of the World Information Transfer, Inc., an NGO in general consultative status with the United Nations. Carolyn is an environmental advocate and tirelessly fights for everyone to have access to clean air and clean water. What a perfect runway. That is so fantastic. What does NGO stand for?
Non-governmental organization.
Probably works a lot better too, right?
Right. Well, we need both, Fonz.
Yeah, sure
we need both.
Sure we do. I don't want to start no trouble. But first of all, Carolyn, how you doing?
I'm doing great tonight because I'm with you, Fonz, and all our friends in Coatesville. Thank you for inviting me.
I'm just so glad that you accepted and you're on board. Now, how's your day? I know you're in the middle of an election. How's this
Yes.
thing going?
Well, everyone is really big. And of course, I'm a sitting representative. So number one is all of my work to help my constituents. And we know a lot of people are unemployed. Lots of people are, the numbers are going up again with the COVID. People are concerned about that. So my district office now in Westchester helps everyone who calls, and this is the same thing that Senator Dinniman's office does, and this is the same work that will continue. If I hope that I will be elected to be your next state senator, and we take phone calls all day from the neighbors in our district who need help. So I'm working hard on that. And then I'm also a candidate, and I, 1 week from now, let's see, it's 8:08, Fonz. 1 week from now, the polls will have closed.
And it's going to start coming in. The tally's starting to come in.
And then, but the ballots will be counted until, as we know, every vote is counted.
Thank God for that. Because you see what they're doing with Wisconsin, right?
I know it. Well, that means the voters are smart, though. We're going to be ready. We're going to make sure we vote. Get those vote by mail ballots in. Don't put anything in the mail right now, right, Fonz? Take it to, don't put anything in the mail.
No, please.
Take your ballot. If you have a vote by mail, take it to Voter Services. Take it to the Henrietta Hankin Library. Take it to the Oxford Library or any of the drop boxes in Chester County. And Fonz, I bet you have that information. And if you need it, call my office and we'll get it up there.
You got it. We voting down there on 5th and Lincoln Highway where we're seeing you at, right in front of State Rep Dan Williams Church. And
yes,
we want you all to vote like your rights depend on it, because ain't nobody playing with y'all.
I love that, Fonz. You are so right.
Hey, look.
Our rights do depend on it.
It's getting real serious. Oh, wait a minute. I'm getting all kind of noise in here. So now, all right. Where are you originally from?
Well, I was born in Buffalo, New York.
What?
Yes, Buffalo, New York. And then my family moved when I was about 2 years old to Westchester, West Goshen. So I went to some of the Westchester schools. And then in 8th grade, my family moved to West Bradford, which is in the Downingtown School District. And so I was graduated from Downingtown. And this is where my love affair with Coatesville first started.
All right. That's
Right. We were arch rivals, the best Thanksgiving Day games ever. Yeah. Sometimes Downingtown won, sometimes Coatesville won, but it was so much fun. I was in the marching band.
Oh my goodness. Now, okay. Now, did you have rhythm or how did that thing work?
Yes, I would say as a sousaphone player, Fonz, I had a lot of rhythm. I also had a lot of strength, except on a windy day. On a windy day, it's not easy to hold one of those. And I'm talking about the one with the big bell.
Yeah.
And back in the day, they were only brass. There were no fiberglass sousaphones. So it was a good workout as well.
Well, first I want to stop to say good evening to Brother Cash Rowland, who is the creator of Big Boy's barbecue sauce. He will be one of your constituents, and he has the best barbecue sauce in America.
My husband loves barbecue sauce. I need to have some of that.
Yeah, he's in about 80 stores. Cash Rowland, Big Boy's barbecue sauce. Teresa Hicks, I want to say thanks for tuning in. So my people are starting to come in. Anthony Stewart is watching. Good to see you. Taylor, top of the evening to you. Right now, we have Miss Carolyn Comitta. Don't tell everybody, but she's the state representative of 156, and she's vying for the empty seat of Senator Andrew Dinniman. So she's going to be one of our new best friends. We're gonna stay on the phone with her talking about we need this, we need that, and we need
That's
this. You know what I mean? That's why she's on City Town Talk. We're going to learn a little bit about her. We're going to introduce her to our whole community because it's important to know who we're voting for. Am I correct?
You are correct.
All right, so I'm from South Philly, but I learned about the rivalry between Downingtown and Clearsville when I moved here. So that's amazing. Now, are you married? Tell us a little bit about your family.
Yes, yes. My husband, Tom, and I have been married for, now he would know the number of years, 37 years this year.
Mhm.
And we've lived here in the borough of Westchester for the last 30 years. Before that, lived in Marshallton,
Mhm.
between Westchester and Coatesville. We have two beautiful children. Our son, Tom, and his wife, Dea, now live in LA. Our children are both in their mid 30s. And our daughter, Anne, and her husband Gary, and our two beautiful granddaughters, Leah and Grace, new baby Grace, live on Long Island.
What?
And Leah will be 2 years old this year. I have a photo of her.
Yeah, let's see that photo.
Her right here. She will be 2 on
Oh,
Halloween.
what?
It's a Halloween baby. We're
Trick or
having a Toy Story Halloween fun.
that's
Halloween
good.
party.
All right, now.
Yeah.
Okay, so you came here, you went to Downingtown. Now I see you're in the political realm. Boom, bang,
Yeah.
bang, bang, bang. What inspired you? I mean, what were your what did you want to do when you were in high school? Did you see yourself doing this, or was it all about education?
That's really interesting. Well, I loved education, and I always have. So I always saw myself as being a teacher. But interestingly, Fonz, when I was a child, when I was like in 3rd grade in elementary school, I pictured myself as, having grown up during the Cold War. I
Mhm.
always looked at the problems that we had with the Soviet Union, which was, the arch rival of the United States. And of course, still Russia is still a consideration, a huge consideration. But I thought, why couldn't we just get to know each other better and become friends? And then we wouldn't have a Cold War anymore.
Mhm.
So I pictured myself as being a sort of diplomat that might be able to help
Mm.
build these friendships. I mean, I was a child and it was a very simplistic view. But right, Fonz, it's all about friendships
Sure.
and relationships.
Sure.
And so I was recruited to run for Westchester Borough Council, and I decided to run. They said, "We need you. We need someone to run in your ward." So I ran. I was terrified. I didn't know if I, could do it. Well, I did it, and I loved it.
Mhm.
And then I was recruited to run for mayor, and I loved being mayor. I was mayor for 8 years in Westchester, and there's term limits.
Mhm.
So I might have loved to have been mayor forever if I kept being reelected, but I had 2 terms and that was it. So at the end of the 2 terms, I thought, well, what can I do to continue serving in my community and build on the relationships and all the things I learned? So I ran for the state house, and that's where, as you said, I won my seat in 2016 by 25 votes.
Okay, all right, time out, time out. Okay, Bernadette Runner, top of the evening to you. Coming to you live, we have none other than State Representative Miss Carolyn Comitta, and she's sharing with us who she is, where she's going, and how she's going to get us there. Now, let me ask you, let's talk about your education, though. In your school district, did you enjoy doing what you were doing? I mean,
When I was teaching,
yeah.
yes.
What was
Oh,
that experience like?
I loved teaching. My degrees in elementary education and special education. And so I started out in the Octorara School District teaching and developing special education programs. And I did that for about 4 years.
Mhm.
And then in 1976, boy, that was a long time ago,
Mhm.
the state said that every school district should also have programs for our gifted and talented students. And so they asked, would I also develop a program for gifted and talented students? So I developed that program, and I was a facilitator for that program, and loved that for mostly middle school. And yes, I loved every minute of it. And then our son was born in 1985. And I took some time then to be a mom and take care of him. And then our daughter was born 2 years later. So then I got involved with my work at the United Nations, and then here we are.
Wow. Now, your United Nations, what is it that you said you did with them?
Well, after my children were born, I said, I want to also keep a hand in education.
Mhm.
And I wanted to do what I could to help improve our community, our world, for my children and everybody's children. And I was always passionate about environmental issues. Graduated from Downingtown 1970. That was the first Earth Day. So I was a product of the environmental movement then. So I learned about this nonprofit at the United Nations focused on health and environment through a colleague of mine. And she said, why don't you come and check it out and see if you can help us? So I did some writing for them. I started bringing students to our conferences each year. I said, this is great. I can bring Octorara students, Westchester students, and bring them to the United Nations and hopefully open their eyes to the broader world and information about environmental issues that would inspire them. So yeah, every year, of course, we did not have a conference this year, but we've been having virtual conferences.
Good stuff. Hey, good evening, Sharon DeShields. It is good to see you this evening, and I am working on our situation, Sharon. Now, let me ask you a question. It's time to talk because people always want to say, my vote don't count.
Right.
You are the perfect example of how every vote counts. Now, you won by 25 votes. Talk to me about that and tell me how did that feel and how 25 votes has catapulted you to where you may become I'm going to say you are going to become the state senator. 25 votes started. Let's talk about that for a minute.
25 votes. Fonz, you're right. I say I'm a walking civics lesson and a walking poster for every vote counts. So, and just to put it in context, in my House district, there are 30 polling places, 30 precincts, and 25 votes is less than one vote in each polling place. That gave, and now you only need one vote to win, but so I like to say I got 25 times more votes than I needed to win.
That's right.
But so at our, especially for our local races, but sometimes for presidential races, we've had really, really close races as well. We don't want to have a close race this year. We want landslides. Everyone needs to vote. The other thing I'd say, Fonz, for people to remember, I was losing the night of the election in 2015. I was losing by 78 votes. I thought I had lost. My family thought I had lost. So we, and, a couple of people who know about these things said, well, now, wait a minute. We've got provisional ballots and absentee ballots and overseas absentee ballots to count. And so let's count all those ballots before we say who has won this race. So it took, let's see, I guess I finally went up by 25 votes once all the overseas absentee ballots came in. This year we have the vote by mail ballots that might take a little longer than
Mhm.
election day. So don't think that the races are over. Election night, there's a lot of votes to be counted after election day. And so by 10 days after election day, we had counted all the ballots.
Mhm.
I was up by 25 votes.
Hey, you might want to tell the people in Washington because they're trying to say, "No, I want to know tonight at 9 o'clock if I want." Come on, man, stop playing. Hey, look, let's say good evening to Cynthia Joseph Turner. You have 3 names, Cynthia. Top of the evening to you, and Carmen Green. Good evening, and you are right, Carmen. Every vote counts. Carmen Green, I just finished giving a shout out to women destined for change. With the turkey giveaway for November the 19th, we only need 200 turkeys. I think we're at the halfway mark too. So I'm so excited. So all my viewers out there, if you want to donate a turkey, inbox your brother. Now let's see what else. That's good stuff. I like talking to you, Carolyn, because you can just do a sentence and keep going with that thing. All right, now you already told us how long you were a mayor in Westchester. What was it, 10 years?
Almost 8 years.
Almost 8 years. Now, what were some of your major accomplishments there? What were you proud of?
Well, as I'm a graduate of Westchester University,
Mhm.
and one of the things that I worked on was bringing the university and community closer together. And this is something in Coatesville. I think it will be exciting to take a look at developing relationships with Westchester University, Lincoln University, Cheney University. How can our universities help us improve our communities? And so developing that relationship between the university and community. And we also, toward the end of my term, created something we call the Center for Community Solutions at Westchester University. Fonz, you check that out, and everybody who's listening, because they will help, the Center for Community Solutions will help connect you, Fonz, or anyone in the community with people at the university, faculty and students who can help. They can help with your Ash Park program, ideas, volunteers, and so on. So that was one of the things that I'm really very excited about. And we also created a Diversity in Action Council after some racist incidents in Westchester, together with Alice Hammond and the NAACP. We all came, the NAACP brought us together, the mayor, police department, NAACP, and we created a code of community values, resolution, and pledge to stand together, stand up for each other against racism, and to make a welcoming, safe community for everyone. So, and that Diversity in Action Council continues today.
Good.
And I'm very proud of that and proud of everyone who's in it.
Hey, look, actually, right now we have a city council person that's watching, Carmen Green.
Hi, Carmen.
I think you and Carolyn are going to get along just fine because you know we got a great city council. I mean,
I know.
yeah, man, they're like a Timex watch. They take a licking and keep right on ticking.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are hardy for the party. They are working hard for our community, and I appreciate them because it's not an easy job. It's not.
No, I know as a council member, I know it. So Carmen and the whole Coatesville City Council, I want you to know that I hope that I will have the opportunity to be your senator and to be a key partner with you with all of the wonderful projects and programs. We want Coatesville to be a destination for businesses and for the arts and for families, and I will do everything I can to help you.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to hear. Jay D'Angelo, he's on the set. Wendy Whitaker, you don't know this young lady, Wendy Whitaker. She's one of your biggest fans. She's got all them people that you've seen to get to register to vote September 19th. She was like a voter's registration drive by herself. I mean,
that's wonderful. Thank you, Wendy.
Set up tables by herself. She didn't need no big hoopla or nothing, man. Wendy, I'm gonna always appreciate you. Okay, Carmen said, yes, her husband used to be our engineer. Okay. Mr. Engineer. Okay, so what else I got? You answered some questions I didn't even ask that I was going to. She's really doing it. Okay, so we know why you went from being a mayor of a bustling county to wanting to be a state rep. Now, what made you want to do that? Was it more what was it?
Well, to be to be perfectly honest with you, which is the only thing I can be,
Yeah.
Fonz, I was recruited. I had been recruited to run for the state house seat that I hold now for 6 years before I ran. So
Wow.
I was mayor, and each year, the Democratic Party from Harrisburg would come to me and say, Mayor, we need you to run for the state house. And I said, thank you, for the invitation, but I have so much work to do here in Westchester. I'm not going anywhere. And then the next 2 years I'd get as it, nope, I'm not finished my work in Westchester, not going anywhere. Well, at the end of my second term, Fonz, I was term limited. So I had to make a decision, and I said, okay, I'm going to continue my work in Harrisburg, but I can also keep working in the district. And that's what I will do as state senator too. I'll be in Harrisburg with policy, and you're going to help me with that. But I'm going to be right here in our own backyard, working with our communities and our neighbors. And you're going to let me know how I can help.
You definitely know it. Hey, Janet Bailey is watching, and maybe this young lady might know you. Somebody named Cindy Outlaw.
Hi, Cindy.
Says, hi, my friend.
One of my Westchester sisters.
Oh, she's thanking me for having you on. Oh, it is my pleasure. It is my pleasure and my honor that she's on. Okay, now, so state senator, do you have more responsibilities and everything else with that? Am I correct?
Yes, well, it's a much larger district. So my district, my House district, all the House districts are about 63,000 people. And there are 203 districts in the state. There's only 50 Senate districts. So it's about 4 times the size of my House district. So the Senate district includes Westchester area, Downingtown, Coatesville, Octorara, and then down in southern Chester County, Avon Grove School District, and Unionville. So it's a much broader geographical area and more people to serve.
I don't know how y'all do it. I look at some of the travel itinerary of where y'all go and you're hugging babies and kissing cows and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, I don't even know how they do it. But anyway, thank God that we got people like you that's doing that. Now, okay, so now what as a state rep, what didn't you accomplish that you wish you could have or haven't been able to do just yet?
Yeah. Well, we've been working on criminal justice reform. We've been able to move some of those initiatives forward. We have a lot of work to do there. Decriminalizing marijuana, is an important one, I believe. We also have, we did pass one gun violence prevention law, thanks to the young people across the country and then in Pennsylvania, the March for Our Lives students. We did pass a domestic violence bill. We've got a lot of gun safety bills we need to pass. And so, we will continue working on those. We have bills to protect our environment and to address the climate change crisis. So we've got to keep working on that. We've passed a few, we've got more to do there. Education, fair funding, and Coatesville School District is a perfect example. I mean, we passed a bill that says 100% fair funding is a good thing to do, but we're only putting about 10% of our state money into the fair funding formula, sending it to the schools that most need it. And Coatesville is one of those schools. So we need to get that going. It's not going to go to from 10% to 100% overnight, but we need it to go 10% and then 40% and then 70%. And then so that our kids in Coatesville are getting the money they need and the teachers for the best education possible.
I'm in total agreement with that. Boy, I fought with them for about 4 or 5 years. Hey, good evening, Mr. Arnold. Hey, Jake Hammond. He is watching. Arnold, it is always good to see you. We have the Honorable Carolyn Comitta. I just like Carolyn because she smiles so much. Every time I see her, I don't see nothing but teeth and cheeks. I'm like, doesn't she know that we're going through hell in a handbasket in the country? No, we good. We're good. All right. So
you're putting a smile on my face, Fonz.
Oh, you just so special. I'm gonna make you pay for that too, because I'm gonna come begging at some point in time. I'm gonna find a need and I'll be right on your door. But look, okay, now, so you've seen, you have a vision for what you would like for our city, because you've come through our city. I'm sure you know a little bit about Coatesville, right?
I sure do, and I have a lot to learn, which is why we're talking tonight, and I'm looking forward to many more conversations with you and all of my friends in Coatesville. I was thinking about the times I've spent in Coatesville. As I said, being a Downingtown alum, Coatesville was, our next door neighbors and our fun arch rivals. But when I was an education student at Westchester University, we had to do an internship and sort of a pre-student teaching activity. And I chose to do tutoring in Coatesville. And I'm trying to, so I did that every week. It was an after-school program for 2 semesters. And I can't remember, Fonz, where I was. Is there a community center right in the center of the city? Or maybe it was in a church hall. I don't know, but it was not far from Pastor Dan's church, I think. But anyway, I did that. More recently, I was remembering I was in Coatesville, and again, I don't remember the church that it was, but we had a celebration of Mayor James Kennedy's life. He was, of course, the oldest mayor at age 93, and then he passed at 99. And as mayor of Westchester, I was there also with Mayor Maxwell of Downingtown, who was coincidentally the youngest mayor in the country at the time. And I remember what a wonderful celebration that was. Also as mayor, I remember being at an event where we were celebrating the beginning of the Coatesville train station project, which I know is still underway, and we got to get that over the finish line. That is a key for economic development and jobs, and all of the things that Coatesville is planning for, city council is planning for. So that was a number of years ago. And then, of course, I was there for your Rock the Vote day.
Let me see. Can you see my shirt?
Rock there.
Oh, somebody.
Well, you are amazing, Fonz.
Pray for me. Oh, boy. Hey, look, let me tell you something, Carolyn. Now, State Rep Dan Williams, he just said something good. He said Carolyn will be a great asset. Now, if he says it, I believe it. And I'm telling you, I'm going to work my whatever off to make sure that you get in there to do whatever it is that I can, whatever little that is or whatever. I'm on your squad. Between you and State Representative Dan K. Williams, and I don't have to tell you, y'all make a dynamic duo. Because we
do. We are a dynamic duo in the House, and I promise you, Pastor Dan, we're going to be continuing our good work when I'm in the Senate, and we're going to multiply the good work that we can do for Coatesville and Chester County. We're going to have a strong delegation in the Senate, a strong delegation in the House. You've got Dan right there. You got me right here.
Man,
It's gonna be good.
what? Oh man, hey, look, Justin Brown just checked in. Dustin, it's good to see you. And Carmen, I want to thank you for sticking with us because Carmen's saying all kinds of stuff. Carmen, it's like we're having a great conversation. I am so excited about this. Hey, we're warming up. You know, it started off a little chilly, but we warming up now. People getting on here, got stuff to say and everything. Now, let me see what else I got. Let me see. Okay, bam. Yeah. Oh, did we talk about this one? Have you formulated any plans or ideas in regards to Coatesville that's now in the midst of the revitalization plan? Because you know we're in the midst of the revitalization, right?
Yes, I do.
So,
And I know with you know, there are a number of projects in the arts. There's the velodrome. I know City Council's working on a lot of things, and all the ideas, all of the good work that City Council and the residents are doing. I just want you to know, I want to know what are the most important ways I can help you. Once I become your senator, some of the things I can do, I can help. There'll be grants to apply for, and I can help make sure we get the grants applied for in a timely way. I will support them. I will bring as much money home from Harrisburg as I can.
that's what I like to hear.
And I will also, you know, but I need to hear from you. I'm not going to say, hey, you know, here are my ideas. I will certainly share if I have a suggestion from my experience, but you are the experts in your hometown, and I will be here to learn and to help you make Coatesville the thriving community through the pandemic and on the other side that you envision.
So the next time I see you, I'm going to have a special shirt or a hoodie for you. And the nonprofit that I'm involved with, it's called the Movement Community Development Corporation. And
Yes.
our key phrase is Coatesville's Rising.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
So you got a T-shirt or a hoodie coming because
Thank you. I will love that.
it only costs you $29.99.
Love that. Coatesville is rising.
Exactly. And I just love it. I love
Because
it.
of
I love
all the people like you, Fonz, and Pastor Dan and City Council and everyone.
Oh man, look, I've been here 32 years and it's rising. I mean, look, some people can't see it. That's only because they ain't looking real hard. Yeah, I mean, you gotta look around and just have a good memory of where it used to be and see where it's going now. It's moving. This is in its infant stage, but this is when you want to caress it and cradle it and ingest some good ideas and just be proactive. So wait a minute, before I get all choked up in it, Danette Baker Murphy is on the set. Hey, Danette, you know I love seeing you on my show. Isaiah, John Johnson, Ruby Brown. Now, Ruby, you're new. I don't see your name much. I'm gonna have to check you out and see who you are. But welcome to City Town Talk. And we are talking with the soon-to-be state senator. Hey, look, y'all get out and vote because ain't nobody playing with y'all. Y'all see who's here, right? That's why we got to vote for the people that's coming to where we at. You know, my teacher always said, never end a sentence with a preposition, right? I'm 70 years old and I got the nerve to remember that. And I don't remember what I had for dinner last night. But that's besides the point. Let's carry on. Oh, man, I'm telling you, this is so great. You know, I'm glad that you're on the show. I'm going to play this over and over again. All right. Okay. So now, we talked about that, and then my next one was, if elected, have you come up with some plans for the areas that you will be representing? But you said you're going to wait for us to supply you with some ideas. But have you, like, while you're home at night and you're thinking about Coatesville, what is it that you're saying to yourself? What's one of the first things you want to try and do when you become?
I have been hearing a lot about Coatesville and the arts. And I know that this is something in Westchester and in a lot of communities that has, you talk about a community rising, the arts bring people together.
Mhm.
So I've been hearing a lot about people talking about the arts. Certainly the train station. I think the train station is really, that is an infrastructure project that is going to set the stage for Coatesville to rise
Mhm.
in ways that we haven't even imagined. But I see there is such strength in Coatesville's diversity.
Mhm.
And this is what we always say in Westchester. And so I think that the arts is one of the things when I think of Coatesville
Mhm.
that is the most exciting to me, because it brings people in from out of town. It also provides jobs in the community, provides entertainment and education
Mhm.
and fun within the community. So you say, what's the first thing that comes to my mind? That's the first thing that comes to my mind. How about you? What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Well, I guess the arts would be nice. Uh,
And I
it,
love your swimming pool project, by the way.
okay, yeah, I got to make some announcements about that because we're bringing more people on a board, which is because we realize that the seven of us in my organization, we can't carry that whole load, no matter how well-meaning, you know what I mean? Because it's a gigantic project. So what we're going to do is we're going to integrate it with Brandywine Health, Natural Lands. So you know what I mean? So we can make this thing more feasible. So I'm glad that we got the ball up and rolling. It's been like 3 years with bottles out on tables and collecting money. And Senator Denneman, he's been our biggest advocate. So I'm just glad
Good.
that we're getting this ball off the road. A lot of times things don't come as quick as we want, but as long as we don't quit, who can tell, man, what's going to happen? Teresa Hicks, it's good to see you back. Yes, she said we need to vote everyone. What else I got? Okay, talk to me about the environment. I understand you're an environmental champion. Let's talk about that.
Yes. Well, let's face it, fundamental to our lives is the ability to breathe clean air and drink clean water.
Mm,
What are we? 90 some percent water.
yes.
Well, we want to make sure that the water we're putting in our own bodies, and certainly our children. As an educator, I'm always thinking about our kids and how we can shape a healthy future for them. And this was what concerned me the most when my kids were little. I thought, well, what is the planet going to look like when they become adults? What can I do to at least make sure that it's a clean and healthy place? Well, that was before we were worried about the climate crisis and climate change. And so, I work really hard to raise awareness about the climate crisis and the policies that we need to protect, to the policies that we need that are going to make that the possibility for a healthy future for our kids. But also things like pesticides on crops and foods,
Mhm.
and so on, that can really impact our children. This is, everything impacts adults as well, but it's multiplied many times over when our children are affected by pesticides in the air or in the water or in the food that they eat. So I've been working really hard on that in Harrisburg as well. Um, so I would say those are the number one things, taking a really long view with the climate crisis
Yes.
and a more immediate view with reducing pesticides in air and water.
Hey, so what's it looking like over there in Westchester with this COVID-19 thing?
Well, we are looking at the cases rising.
Mhm.
Um, all over Chester County and across Pennsylvania. And so we have, in the borough of Westchester, we have additional restrictions. We have our mayor instituted an emergency declaration that everyone must wear a mask. And she actually instituted fines, a $300 fine. I mean, now the police will also warn people, and they're not trying to give fines, but you know, it's very important. And then Borough Council just passed an ordinance in support of the mask wearing, and also to limit the number of people at an indoor gathering in a home to 15 people. So this is what we're doing here, specifically in the borough of Westchester. And then of course the governor has, you know, the regulations for restaurants and gatherings that applies to the entire Commonwealth. How about in Coatesville? Can you tell me?
I stay in the house. I'm good.
Okay, good. That's very good. But the most important thing we can all do, as we know, is mask up.
Mask up.
Socially distance.
Yes.
And just remember that the cases, where the cases are rising most right now, in Pennsylvania is in smaller family gatherings or gatherings in homes. So we let our guard down and we think, hey, you know, it's not a problem, but we need to be mindful of that it is a problem.
Yes, indeed. Hey, look, my cousin just checked in, Alberta Newswan. Top of the evening to you, Alberta. Thank you for checking in. You must be special because she doesn't really look at my show that much. You must know this young lady. Hey, look, man, this has been great. I could talk to you forever, but I'm hungry, so I'm gonna have to go eat some dinner. But look, always, the last two questions that I always ask all my guests. Number one is, what part has faith played in your journey is one. And the second question, or not the question, but to end it, I want you as a guest to talk to our viewers out here about anything that's on your heart and in your mind. You can do a vote for me speech, whatever you want to lay on your heart to lay on us, okay? So everything this show is always geared towards is inspiration, information, and education. So wherever you want to just take it. But first, tell me, what part has faith played in your journey? Because I'm sure it was a tough one.
Well, I grew up in a number of faith communities, first in the Presbyterian Church in Westchester, and then in the Marshallton Methodist Church in my teenage years. And then as my husband and I started a family, we said, you know, and my husband is Catholic, and we said, what is, you know, the faith community that would be most meaningful for us? So we were living in Marshallton, and there's a Quaker meeting, Bradford meeting in Marshallton. And so we said, let's go to meeting a couple of times and see what that is like. Mm-hmm. So we went and we said, this feels like a good faith home for us. So, but then as our children were born, we realized that we needed a Quaker meeting that had children. The Bradford meeting only had adults, which was great. Mm-hmm. So we moved ourselves to the Birmingham Friends meeting, where we have been members since our children were young. And what I have, well, there are a lot of things that I love about all of the faith communities, but in Quakerism, I had an opportunity to participate in the as a member of the Religious Council of Greater Westchester. Mm-hmm. And so I was a representative from our Quaker meeting, but I was there with Jewish representatives, Muslim, Catholic, Protestant, and so on. And I got to learn so much. And in Quakerism, there is the awareness that there's that of God in each person, and that each person's spiritual journey, is a sacred journey for them, and that not everyone's journey has to be the same. Everyone follows their spiritual path. And what I have enjoyed over the years is what I have learned in my work as mayor and the Diversity in Action Council and so on, from faith leaders around the community. That has really enriched my own personal and spiritual growth. And I look forward to learning more as I meet new people. So that is my faith journey. And I find an inspiration, and from all of the different faiths that I have been able to learn about through the friends that I've met, and my own Quaker meeting, which I appreciate very much for the focus on human rights, civil rights, and taking action, putting faith into action.
Good stuff.
And so my message is vote. Every vote counts. And I have a pin on. I have a pin here. You see this pink vote pin, Fonz?
Yes.
This pin is, I don't know, 8 years old or so. It's from the League of Women Voters.
Okay.
And the League of Women Voters, nonpartisan, election voting rights and candidate awareness and issues awareness organization. I've been a member for years, and our mantra is, your vote is your voice. So I say vote twice a year. Every year you will be a super voter. And remember that your vote is your voice, and every vote counts.
Hey, and you heard it from the mayor or ex-mayor who won her seat by 25 votes. Now, if y'all don't believe what she said, y'all ain't gonna believe nothing that anybody said. Miss Arnez Lewis, it's good to see you. You came a little late, but that's okay. Daria Turner, catch us on the repost, because you know I'm gonna play this again. I wanna take this time to thank you, Carolyn Comitta, for just this time that we spent together. We just
Thank you, Fonz. I loved every minute with you, and I look forward to the next time that we're together. Thank you so much.
Now I'm gonna send this link to what's your chief of staff, or what's her name? Emily.
Oh, Emily Eister. Yes.
I'm gonna send this link to her.
Is my campaign manager. Thank you.
I think she might want to share with somebody. I'm pretty.
We will love to share it. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna send this to her as soon as I get all my viewers out there. I want to thank y'all for tuning in, giving shout outs. Don't forget the rest of this week's events. The food giveaway at CYWA, that is very important. I need my people to get out there and get that food and stop playing, because they ain't trying to take it home. Go there and get it. Wednesday and Thursday. Friday at Tabernacle Baptist Church, they have their food giveaway. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, about 11 o'clock. Get there at 11 o'clock and you'll be okay, but you're gonna need your ID and you're gonna have to wear a mask, because ain't nobody playing with y'all. Don't be breathing all on people, because you know that COVID's out here. Carolyn, I want you to have a great night. It's been real. It's been real stupid. We've been real stupid on here now, ain't we? No, maybe we just laugh. Ain't that something? Yeah, pray for me, right?
You're the best.
All right, so everybody out there in Coatesville and on my Facebook page, I want to thank y'all. Remember that Coatesville is rising, and you know how I end this thing. I always tell you that Black lives do matter. Peace out. Bye, Carolyn.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Fonz.